Well, so we have the time for discussion. It's AM Talk, and we have Ni Adekoka in the studio. And Joseph Ni Adekoka is the chairman of the NDC Greater Accra, Chairman 1. Non-official cabinet position. Anyway, how are you?
Fine, thank you, my
brother. Great. All right, so
maybe me and you will form
a cabinet. A cabinet. That'll be laudable. We'll be approving agreements left, right, center. We'll make business boom. Anyway, let's look at this. Let My Vote Count Alliance. They are organizing a demonstration they call Bamuyada. They won't agree. That's what it means in Hausa. And it's all because of all the things that they accuse your government of doing, but as well as the distrust they seem to have for the Electoral Commission. Very skeptical of the actions of the Electoral Commission. What do you make of this very demonstration?
Roland, let me say good morning to yourself and your viewers.
Thank you.
Yesterday, I commented on this Electoral Commission, Let My Vote Count Alliance, Brouhaha. And I said to myself, we've had about 6 elections in this country. 6 elections.
Since 1992.
Exactly. And governments have come and gone. And this Electoral Commission has performed beyond reasonable doubt. What's the argument? They are asking for an electoral register which they think is flawed. The MPP, sometime last year, had a press conference and said they have about 75,000 people whose names are in the register which are not supposed to be there. And then when they were put to strict proof, they were found wanting. A commission was set up, and they were invited, and the McMenu who represented them. I mean, everybody saw what happened. It was live on television. You know, look, we should allow the Electoral Commission, which is an independent body, to operate. No amount of demonization of the Electoral Commission will work. We've been through the system. We started with opaque ballot boxes. We started with electoral register where you just have to go and mention your name, and then they look through the paper. And if your name is there, you are asked to go and vote. We're given cards without pictures of thumbprints. And we survived. We had elections. Here is a situation where if you have you find anybody whose name is not supposed to be in the register, there's a process that you have to go through and inform the Electoral Commission for the name to be expounded. So why do you have to create a situation in this country as if we are at war? Every 4 years, we create a situation as if we are at war with ourselves. Look, candidates election going on in the United States, right? This last night I watched the primaries. The primaries. Have you heard anybody throwing stone or no? They come out and they go home. I mean, what is happening? That when you come to the so-called inverted comma third world or developing countries, we are always at war with ourselves on things that we've got a system that must be allowed to operate.
Granted that all the things that you say is true, is the climax for all this not what transpired at the court in 2013, following that very election in 2012, in which if you would have to do a genuine analysis of the proceedings in court, you know that the Electoral Commission has certain flaws in its procedures and its administrative activities, which has led to some level of distrust. Well, if not necessarily by the MPP, but by skeptical watchers of poor conduct in Ghana.
What were the inactions of the Electoral Commission? Elections are run by parties at the electoral level when elections are taking place. We, the players, virtually we run the elections there. At the end of the day, when the ballot is cast and it's counted, all of us are present. The Electoral Commission does not go to collect ballot papers and dump them in the ballot boxes. So what are you talking about? Elections are won at the polling stations where all of us are supposed to be vigilant. You understand? The process is a human institution. You cannot run away from it. It's a human institution, and no human institution is perfect. There are bound to be flaws, but on the totality, we have passed the test. We've gone through the mill and we've passed the test. And as I'm saying that we've had 6 elections in this country with what you can say deformed systems in quotes. But
that is, you're saying the critics are saying their systems are deformed.
Yes.
We use them, but then they were positive.
Exactly.
Okay.
People emerged, government emerged.
Yeah, but that's not good enough.
No, we have improved upon it.
Well, we keep improving, exactly. but we can do better. That's what the critics are saying.
What I'm saying, at this particular moment of time, a register that you say is flawed, there are mechanisms for you to clean the register, right? Only recently, our brothers used the same flawed electoral register to hold an election in Ebuakwa. So I thought they would have boycotted the election, but they used the same document that they claim is flawed.
But you can't use this point of argument.
No, I can use that. If you say
to advance your point.
No, Roland, no, you can't go.
We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll be having into the discussions Boniface Gambila Adakbila, who is a member of parliament for Nagdan constituency. And I'm sure he has a very succinct reply to Adekoke's own comment about all the things that is wrong or not wrong as being protested by a number of pressure groups, but notably led by Let My Vote Count Alliance in Kumasil. We'll try as much as possible to get hold of our correspondent who is with the demonstrators and see whether we can get something out of the march. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll invite the honorable member into the discussions. Well, we have in the studio Boniface Gambila Adakbila, member of parliament for Napdam. And a very good morning to you. You're on recess, so I see you look very relaxed.
Good morning.
Okay. You're very relaxed about the polls in November 7 too. Even though we have an ongoing demonstration led by Let My Vote Count Alliance. I always want to say the acronym, but very much lost on me.
No,
but
I've always been relaxed since 2000.
Well, we can't be having an election, or we can't be having elections from 1992 and be having consistent improvement on each election, and then assume that our system is the worst we can't find in the sub-region. Why is it that from your side and also from the critics' side, there's constant criticism or barrage of concerns about the way the Electoral Commission on one part organizes the election, its fairness and neutrality, and how our own electoral system, coupled with the register we have, is?
First of all, we are a group that is always looking for perfection. And at any time that things are good, you always strive to improve. Because the world, the environment is dynamic. If you recall, several years back, or since '92, from all the calls, the same pressures had come on EC, and we have moved from opaque ballot boxes to transparent ballot boxes. We've moved from picture graphic color to color, graphic black and white to color, and all those things. And we put pressure, and each time we put in pressure of making a call, then you find, if you remember, the great statement by Dr. Obera Samoa over his dead body, all those things. Yet it happened. And when it happens, the end of it, everybody finds that it's good. So that gives us the motivation and the edge that we are always seeing ahead. You know, we always see ahead several years before others will see, you know. So, for example, currently we are saying if a whole chairman of electoral commission can come and say that there are about 2 million people on the register, he doesn't know where to place them, how to confirm their registration. If we come to find that people have been registered under National Health Insurance card, which is not right, then we have found that at a certain time, there were some specific interventions to give out free National Health Insurance cards at certain particular places where we always have complaints about. And see, so that the behavior, the way you behave to me, gives me my attitude to you. So that is how it is. And now we are calling. Look, we've been told 600,000 names are dead, including President Atta Mills. And I'm sure if we leave it, Atta Mills will vote on November 7th.
How is that possible?
That is what we're afraid.
We're using a system.
These people, we don't know them.
Oh, no,
My
no,
brother.
That
Anyway,
is
don't worry about that one. It's just beside the point. But it's just to tell
highlight
our fears. You see? So, and the procedure of so we made cases. And the cases have been made, then the behavior of the Electoral Commission. There are 7 of them or so. So these 7 commissioners, or the EC as a whole, comes out to say, okay, we prefer to clean and not to re-register. And we say, oh, which is easier? Because these things have been done before. We have done registrations and re-registrations, amendments and limited. We've done a lot. Then you come and say, okay, hold it, give me your concerns on paper. Then you take the concerns on paper. Then you say, you come up and say, okay, I'm going to set up a committee to look into it and help me with the ideas. Then the committee comes and says, do A, B, and C. Then you throw it away. Wasting state funds, okay? So that alone is an offense to this state, because you have spent money to set up a committee to help you with ideas to improve the system. So all that MPP is doing is still the fight to improve the systems, you know, because systems improvement make things easier. Most systems in this country are the cause of corruption. We have a lot of interface, human to human, but we can put in systems that will eliminate to a large extent face-to-face interaction, and this business will improve.
But is it not the whole essence of having constant improvement?
Yes.
Which also would ensure that we achieve a certain goal in a systematic way,
yes,
in a gradual way, but not the way you constantly criticize. That tends to create some level of tension.
Yes.
And sometimes what the critics will say, a non-existent atmosphere for which is needless to many respects.
You will say so, but what is needless? We are going for elections. And we say that your conduct.
But hold on, I have Mahmoud Nuruddin, our correspondent in the Ashanti region, on the line. He is with the demonstrators. And I would want to ask you, are they getting the numbers, or have they gotten the numbers they were expecting? Mahmoud.
Yes,
I
can hear you.
The demonstrators and then the organizers, have they masked up the way the expectation was before the start of the demonstration?
Well, the information I've just picked up is that some of the demonstrators are being they are converged at different locations. They will meet those at the Swamirana right now. So from here, they will be meeting those at the various junctions that they ask them to wait for them so that they will continue with the demonstration. But as I'm speaking now, the demonstration hasn't started yet, and any time from now, I'm told they will begin the demonstration. But Roland, I have the organizer here, Stephen.
No, Mahmoud. I would want to ask you, how many people are they expecting?
Well, they are expecting many people. They haven't been. I haven't heard any number. They have not mentioned any number to me here. I've been speaking to the leadership, but they haven't mentioned the number of people. But they are expecting a lot of people to embark on.
Thank you very much, Mahmoud Nuruddin, and he is our regional correspondent in Ashanti and speaking to us on that. But so for now, they will be converging from various points.
Oh, yeah. If we get about 10 people, it's okay.
It's okay to make the point.
We can make the point.
Why is it that constantly when we do this, the criticism is that we just create unnecessary tension and create the atmosphere?
I just told you that. You see, the way you behave will give me the way to respond to your behavior.
Okay.
So that's the point I'm saying. Health insurance cards
You've made that
are
point.
illegal. And
no
you are
repeat.
standing by them.
That's a repetition.
You see,
2 million people, up to now, Dr. Farijan
No.
wasn't able to place them.
Ro-
Are you understand?
Roland.
600,000 people
You've
on
made your
the
point. That's a
death list.
repetition.
And you say
I'm
we should
cutting
use
this
court.
I'm cutting this out.
Roland.
But the thing that he's saying,
let me-
indeed, all of you as parties, whatever you want to say, you agree that the register has a problem.
Roland, the NHI, at the time of registration, was a legal document. It was when after the registration that they went to the Supreme Court and they ruled that. So let's get that straight. So that
We
was
all
not,
know that.
that was not an illegality, because at that time
He's not saying it's an illegality, but he's saying that those people who registered, they still have their names on the register, haven't registered with a document which currently is not approved.
Roland, no, but the Supreme Court did not give a retrospective ruling judgment. You see, look, I give myself as an example. I use my NHIS card to go and register. Me sitting here, that what I've got a passport.
At the time it was legal. Now it's illegal.
I've got a passport. I've got a driving license. I've got numerous identity.
So your
and
point
at the time they gave.
So your point
they
is
gave various cards that must be used. Are you telling me that I'm an illegal what do you call it? What are you telling me? Voter, please. So let's don't go there, right? The argument is that, right? We've got something called IPAC. All the parties are represented there, and they go for meetings and try to give reforms and perfect the document. So if you say institutions must work and must allow, then why do you then, on one vein, attend those institutional meetings, and then you go and hide behind other people and go on them?
Who is hiding?
MPP. They go and hide under let my vote count. Yes, and in this particular demonstration, the two of them are joined together. So here is a situation that, like I said, you create an unnecessary tension, because now, if you are saying that the document is flawed, and another party says that, another group will say that the document is not flawed, and then they also move on the streets, what will be the end product?
But I know the NDC and one or two other parties think that there's a problem with the register.
Exactly. So there are.
So you only disagree with how.
That's right. So the regulation is that if I find out that you are dead.
For example, Roland. No, not dead. Maybe I've registered twice. Or I'm not supposed to register. I'm a foreigner.
There's a mechanism to identify double registration. Now, at the exhibition time, any party, all party members are supposed to be visible. Because
that's a long process. That's a long process.
That's the system.
So wouldn't it have been easier to just open new registration centers? Everybody go and register.
No.
We are vigilant at the registration centers. We collect or we display. We find out those that are not supposed to be in there. Then we comply.
Every year, every 4 years that we have to go to an election, we have to do registration every 4 years.
It's better than not having peace.
There's absolutely nothing untoward about the register.
Let me take this.
There are mechanisms.
I'm
coming. There are mechanisms that have been put in place, and I said even.
He's heckling me.
Allow him.
Over the years, when we are having upside, what do you call it, ID cards, which were even upside down, we were able to vote and have the result.
The one that had a Ghana flag, you see, showing differently.
You see, when we talk of quality, quality goes with daily progress. When we talk of systems,
are you saying that for the next election we're not going to have progress on the register? Because, for example,
that is what we are doing now.
I know that, for example, the verification devices and the machinery have been updated.
They have been updated.
And we all have hindsight that.
Let me tell you something.
These are the things we need to do for the
I have
limited.
here my own antics, multiple registration. And when they got to the last assembly elections, so we said, look, try the first one. It picked. Try the second one. It picked. So you see, the machines themselves are not foolproof. So I have it here. So that is one point. But what I want to say is that if you go to court or you are charged for an offense and the situation says no retrospective punishment, but in the light of new evidence, the law allows you to review. You understand? So the NHI at that time, yes, they messed and got the thing through.
You are saying that it was planned, or the law was manipulated?
Errors and omissions.
But you're in parliament. You passed the LI.
I wasn't in parliament.
Oh, you didn't
So
pass
you
the
see,
LI.
so now it is known that that one is now an error. Nobody is an illegal registrant. So what we are now saying, so if we now have, in the light of new evidence, that XYZ stole or broke into my house, I should say because it was
I've asked
he
a
was
pertinent
discharged.
question. Me sitting here.
I think you have a point.
Me
there.
sitting here.
So
I
the thing is,
Yes.
for me, I'm thinking.
So it's what do you lose?
I'm thinking the whole election about the whole business about election is a stakeholder engagement business.
Oh yes.
So if one stakeholder has a certain agreement,
yeah,
it doesn't mean that all stakeholders need to be in agreement. Is that it?
that is true. You never get
Okay.
all, but the bottom line is.
So why is
there
it that it will look as if the MPP and some of its maybe allies would want to force something on the entire stakeholder community?
Because you see, MPP has always had a vision.
Okay. So
And
yours
we have
is
seen
right
something
and theirs is
ahead.
wrong.
It's not wrong. It's
Alright.
just you
Let's
see,
change the subject.
No,
though.
but let,
Talking about the MPP, you wanted to say something.
He has asked a question.
He was
that he like this, will he go? Now what we are saying is that in the validation, Mr. Dekoka, will now go with his voter card and with his other passport or the driving license and say correct.
So let them do it.
So that at that
So why
time,
do I have to go to a demonstration? Why do I have to?
they have refused, and the behavior of the entire EC.
They say that
Yes.
they are going to do limited registration.
Uh-huh.
After the limited registration, all the documents will be available for us to go and pursue it.
And how do we change? How do we get
Well,
this?
they are going to do it.
Hello.
Allow them to.
What is the statement on that?
The flawed
Tell me what they've
document.
said.
The flawed document elected him. The flawed register.
But that's an argument that the NDC put
Because you insisted in using the NHIS.
Talking about the MPP
Now
and
like
what
this,
they
when
don't
I go
agree.
back, I will convince those who use their NHI card
Talking about
within
the
my area
MPP,
to
talking about the
vote for me.
MPP and what they don't agree is how they feel government is abusing its incumbency.
That one, which is
In the
normal.
use of the security apparatus to what they say intimidate people, because we know that there was an arrest of one Dr. Ayoani, who is an MD, founding partner of Granite and Marble Company, following an accusation that he may have taken a picture overlooking a compound in which there were some number of vehicles, Mahindra vehicles, that were being branded in NDC colors. Following that, the pictures got to find themselves on social media, and the tag was that those cars were meant for the NCCE, but the NDC, through its government in power, had diverted those vehicles allegedly belonging to the NCCE to be used as party vehicles. Pure abuse, they allege. Pure abuse, Adekoka.
Let me tell you something. The vehicles are not NCC vehicles. These are vehicles bought by the NDC. You see, in every election, all parties buy vehicles. My very good friend Afoko, single-handedly, bought cars for them, but they didn't give it to them because they had suspended him. If Afoko alone,
how is that relevant?
Well, I'm just telling you, if Afoko alone can do that, how about the party? The information that came out was false. Absolutely false, right? To tag the vehicles, and then now, Baba Kamara is claiming that somebody invaded his privacy. You see, in this country, because of political expediency, we just always want to attack, or we don't sit down to look at the ins and outs, the nuances of certain actions. One day somebody will stand in his window and take a naked picture of you and put on social.
That's an abuse of my...
Exactly. You see? Exactly. So what is different between somebody having his private vehicles on his compound and someone taking a picture?
Well,
that was not an abuse.
If my personal liberties are abused,
exactly.
how does the BNI come?
Now let's say that.
Why do you bring the BNI?
Now let's go to that tangent. the pictures could have just come without adding certain statements on it. They claim that there's a diversion of government, state resources for a particular. So it was on that basis
that you had to use.
The National Security Advisor, right, is in the chain of security officers in this country. Yes, it's a National Security Advisor. He attends security meetings. He then ordered the BNI to take action on something that is going on, defaming the government. By the actions of the people, whoever took the picture and said that this.
How does this defame government?
No, if you are accusing government of diverting state resources for issues, are you not?
That's embezzlement or
exactly,
abuse of power.
Abuse of power. And
corruption.
So it must.
So that's why
it must be investigated. You understand? It must be investigated. That's why I said to you, if somebody stands in the next...
That's an abuse of my personal...
Exactly. Really. So, further on...
And you are equating that to what
I'm saying that because of political expediency, we don't sit down to analyze situations that one day will not...
So your point is that you are not abusing incumbency?
It's not abusing incumbency.
What you did was right? Are you sure what you did was right?
He was invited to come to give a statement.
Detained?
No, he wasn't detained. No. He was invited, he gave a statement, and he was allowed to go on the self-recognizance bill for further investigations with them. Because
he wasn't detained?
Because I want
was he detained?
Yeah, I want government to establish, or I want us to establish the fact whether the vehicles belong to NCCE. And
you are saying they don't.
I'm saying that.
And so far the media has not been able to find out.
Exactly. So why should we?
But you're saying the NDC bought those vehicles.
Exactly, it's for the party activity, and we are not going to be shy.
How many were they?
I'm not going to tell you how many it is.
How many more are you?
I am not going to sit here to tell how many, but it is not something that is untoward.
It's normal. It's an election year.
It's an election year.
Our point has been made.
Our brothers
don't belittle the point. You are making political capital out of this. Now you are saying it's an abuse of incumbency.
An abuse of human rights.
Well, fine. The aspect of human rights, perhaps maybe you can't hold up. But at what point do you, if you look at the pictures, you see that it was taken from an elevated angle.
I see.
Definitely not from the compound in which the cars were, because there was a fence or barbed wire fence kind of in front of, just down there.
Okay.
It shows that somebody else took the pictures.
Okay.
It smells of some mischief, doesn't it? Within the narrative.
There's no problem with that. But first of all, let me do a correction. MPP Polafoko went on campaign to be chairman and promised each constituency, if they vote for him, he will give them each
he has bought the
a
cars.
pickup.
He has bought it.
Okay? And he gave a time limit within the same year of election. He was elected. The time limit passed and passed and passed. As to where he has gone to his friend, he's now telling me the cars are there.
The cars are it.
Others didn't promise.
He has refused to give
Others
it to
didn't promise. They have bought cars.
Oh, so you have also bought cars.
I say others didn't promise. They have bought cars. I didn't say MPP has bought cars.
Make your point.
Okay, my point now. Secondly, we are in a competition.
You and who? In the political
parties are in competition.
Okay.
And I have the right.
So you have to take pictures
to
and
scan my environment, to profile anything I want, to undo my competitor.
Well, even if it's wrong,
I'm coming. No. Freedoms, you are entitled to your freedoms, except where it will not hurt the other person. You must be conscious of that.
Well, true. I agree with that.
Right. So now he is saying that it will come to a time the fellow will take pictures of you and your wife in your room, or you are bathing. Yes, that same person is fighting for a law to be passed so they can listen to your talk with you and your wife on bed. The spy bill, which we are kicking against. So that they can know and hear you, listen to you, video you. Spy bill is going on now.
Well, we know
and we are kicking
that's not
against
what we're talking about.
So, if somebody has taken a picture of those vehicles and somebody says, got wind that The vehicles were meant for NCCE. NCCE today has not got a single vehicle, and it is a state institution. I'll come to the psychological side of it for you to understand why people have to talk. So, if the vehicles are not meant for NCCE, NDC, tell us where you got money to buy. Because when you were building your $20 million office, when we talked, you said no, you denied. Then suddenly, the building is there. You talk.
As for this.
We argued. You said you are not building a house. You don't even have that plot. Then suddenly, a $20 million house is there. Oh, the newspapers, we can say. The argument is there.
Distorting the
Are you getting my point? Now, somebody, you have seen the picture in social media. Then you say, because I share wall with you, and the picture has been taken from that angle, it is you. You must be responsible. Which law? I am a visitor. Do you know if I was the one who went there? Because I'm in
So
competition.
you're saying that the gentleman could have been pinged wrongly because he's not the one who may have taken.
It's even wrong. That granite and marble, I went there 3 years ago to look for their marbles for my kitchen. They were not in business. So if you are sharing wall with me, I must be security conscious. I see vehicles there, people walking, and I will take picture. Even the man should have reported to the police first
But
to
it's
keep
not right.
watch. What is not right? Which law says it's not right?
If I've been
Where
in a house,
where is the head on that person?
I'm following that very
And
press
if-
conference. Following that very press conference. I know you want to add more innuendos, but don't, just add there. Following that very press conference by your party, you made a tagline, or you said that government should return the NCC meant vehicles back to the NCC.
Yes, they will not tell us.
Because now you have not told us, just like the NDC also have not told us whether how they bought the vehicles, but you have not told us whether the vehicles were meant for the NCC and from which budget item for which those items were diverted. Because we know the NCC has
the budget from national security, where you don't audit. And Baba Kamara is advisor. So Baba Kamara is between the president.
That's a fresh allegation.
Baba Kamara is between the president and the national security.
Roland.
If you are drawing an organogram, the president is there.
That's a serious allegation.
You will have the advisor between him. So he's part of the structure. The behavior is what I'm saying. Because he is there. Why is it a problem?
He said his property has been violated.
But that he should go to court, but not to give an order for the man to be arrested by police, and BNI will go and pick him. Why should it be so? The police alone is enough. Did Baba Kamara write a complaint to the police? He didn't write.
You don't know about that, so you can't answer.
No, he didn't.
You don't know about
that.
You don't know.
I know because we have questioned for over a week now,
and they want to
and
come and answer to
nobody's
Why
showing.
don't you go and ask the police?
We have asked the police. They don't have evidence.
Look, this.
Are you getting my point?
Kind of
when did the incident happen? The last weekend or this weekend?
This kind of politics will not help us.
No.
This kind of politics.
You see what I'm saying? That let me tell you the psychological side.
A party is entitled. You see, a party is entitled to have access.
Yes, so tell us. You are in government.
Yeah. No, you have also been government. When you were in government,
but you're saying that
you bought 300 Nissan.
They were donations.
They
were donations.
But you are saying,
and we proved it at that time.
They are donations. So we also proved to you how we bought it.
Now
you
that's what I'm saying.
Not prove it. We have to prove to the.
Mr. Adekoka, now you are saying that the vehicles belong to the party.
It belongs to the party. It's in party colors. Once it's in party color, it belongs to the party.
They were hiding and coloring.
We're not. You have to come and.
NCC vehicles. NCC today has no vehicle, and you are government in power. And you are not empowering the government institutions.
My brother, honorable.
Are you saying that because
EC today wants 160 pickups to operate? They haven't given them even
they have money.
They should go and rent.
They have a budget. The EC has done a budget.
They haven't given them. The first phase of budget, the government has failed to give. 260 for the first.
I wish MPP would not go and buy vehicles and use bicycles for their campaign.
No, we'll buy vehicles.
Exactly.
Individuals.
The lawyer
for my vehicle already.
The lawyer for Daniel Esim, you gentlemen know him. Daniel Esim, he's the gentleman who allegedly killed
our politics
JB Dankwa Edu. Your former colleague.
Yes.
Okay. Your late colleague. And apparently he says that he feels that he's going to be poisoned in the BNI cell.
You see?
He said he was given food around 12 midnight to eat, but he declined. He believes that somebody is planning to kill him.
Do you want me to come here? Oh, here like this is.
You see?
Because he also has rights.
No, wait.
Even though
He has rights.
allegedly.
Oh, yeah, prisoners have rights. Patients have rights.
Yeah, he has rights.
And everybody has rights. You see, BNI. You see, me, I have a different perception of the BNI because I've been a victim over useless things. Then I ask myself, is this a truly security body we have in this country? I've tried 2 experiences. When even I was in my own government, then I said,
In your own government, they came to pick you up?
No, they didn't pick me up. But the reports they were writing, then I said, Kai, this country, we are doomed. If President Kufuor, this is the information they are giving him, Kai, then it won't work. So I was a BNI, I was a national security myself. I was giving information to Francis Poku, and he asked me one day, how do I get my intelligence? Then I told him, I won't tell him. The way I do my security, I do my intelligence, I do my espionage, and I train in them, I won't tell you. If you want to pay me, and I'll do it for you. All those, look, I'll sit in my office, and I'll give information how cocaine is moving from Takoradi Harbor, Tema Harbor to Takoradi Harbor. So they asked me one day, how did I know? I said, yes, leave it to me. I know how to do my security. So then secondly, BNI came to pick me on an issue. Then I said, did you do the basics? You didn't do the basics. And they embarrassed President Mills, embarrassed the government of the day, made me to insult the government of the day, made me to let the government look useless. Bad, horrible. So I have a different perception of any BNI. Are you understanding me? And some of them later came to confess to me that they will learn from me. I said, but you see, this young man, you may agree or disagree. You see, the way he and others did the killing. So first of all, the police arrested him. Then secondly, BNI went and picked him away from the police. Then we began hearing different stories. The police would have done a better job. Because with the police, with the homicide group, we would have got more info.
Have you been a policeman before?
No. But I've trained police outside this country and other bodies. And I have relatives who have been police and soldiers. You see, all this is happening at a time that we imported 2 Guantanamo people into this country.
How does it?
Yeah, you understand me. One of the arguments I raised about the Gitmo 2 is that psychologically, our children and young people are going to accept first of all that it's good to behave the same terrorist way, ISIS ways. Did you ever hear that somebody will carry a ladder from Agboglosi to Shashi, climb the ladder, kill an MP, and go free? Did you ever hear that? But this happened soon after 2 Gitmo people came into this country. Where was the BNI with these Gitmo people? It's a suspicion. I'm asking questions. So you see, the psychological side, the cultural development side, is some of these things. Now, if today he says first they said he's mad. Soon after taking him from the police by the BNI, the report that he is mad.
Please, I only give you a minute. Unfortunately, I don't have the time.
Roland,
what kind of conspiracy theory?
That's a conspiracy theory.
Is it the first time that somebody had been murdered in this country? The first time.
In an ISIS manner.
At a certain stage.
It in an ISIS manner.
At a certain stage in our political history, we were seeing human beings women were littered all over the place as having been murdered. So that too was a conspiracy. That was a conspiracy. When human beings were littered all over the place, and they claimed that they'd be murdered.
That was before the 2000 elections.
Exactly. And the government said when they come, when they come, they will solve the matter. True to form, when they came, they solved the matter.
Another conspiracy theory.
Another conspiracy theory. You see, if you are going
After
to sit
came, he
if
didn't solve it.
If you are coming to sit and talk about conspiracies, I mean, we really go below the belt. I think my friend is.
So on Daniel Siedu,
this morning,
he says that he believes that.
Daniel Siedu, what I'm saying is, this guy at the last sitting claimed that he's insane. You remember? He said his lawyer declared that he was insane. So his utterances, right, fall into the pattern of somebody who is really getting or pretending
to be insane.
He's pretending,
so that you'll be let off, you'll be sent to a psychiatric ward.
My guest for today, Joseph Niadekoka is the chairman for NDC Greater Accra.
So there's no
and
they should release him.
I want to ask you a question though.
Yes.
That office there you have on the Nima Highway, is it the Greater Accra region?
No, the office is at Paloma.
Okay. So what that office there is what now?
It's part of our
but you write something there. What office is it?
Zango. It's for our Zongo caucus. Yes.
Okay.
The Zongo that Baumia has taken over.
Boniface Gambila Adakbila is a member of parliament for Nabdam.
So on the ballot box.
Dr. Baumia has taken over the
It's on the ballot paper. I mean, look,
he's a team player.
You know, it's very interesting.
We're taking a break. When we come back,
now
we'll have entertainment for you.
He's a frank bearer of MPP. Because he's